Oh, there's a green light on there. I've never even noticed that before. There's a green light at the top. I guess that means I'm alive. I never noticed that before. I know there's a lot of people at Annette's birthday party. Annette's birthday's tomorrow, so happy birthday. I asked her today how many times I had to say happy birthday to her. She said just once tomorrow, but we already said happy birthday to her 100 times. Hello, monster. You know what I just realized? That's not a YOLO, that's a Diet Coke. I forgot that. Hello, Ruth. I saw Ruth first thing this morning. It was made me smile. I never do this, but I'm going to do this now. I'm not saying a name, but it's not going to matter because he's not on Facebook. But we had a nominee for Veteran of the Month while we were at the show. His wife nominated him. He is currently in the hospital awaiting a heart transplant. And his birthday is April 7th. And I told her what we do, explained to her what we do with the money, all that sort of thing. And I said, one of the things is Veteran of the Month. I said, why don't you nominate him? And then you could see she was getting emotional. And she said that he's been in the hospital having heart problems. He was a Vietnam veteran. He's waiting for a heart transplant. So they gave him the okay. She said April 7th. And she started crying. And she said April 7th is his birthday. So I told her, what we do. Got all his information. I said, listen, I'm going to get this package together this weekend. I said, it's going in the mailbox Monday. I said, you'll have it by Tuesday or Wednesday. This is relatively local. So that's a good deal. It makes me, that's the kind of shit that makes me, I just was messaging with the B guy before I came on here. And I said, that's the kind of thing that makes me glad about all the time and effort and stressful times when I feel like it's overwhelming and I wish it wasn't. So stories like that are good. But anyway, that's going out. That'll be in the mail Monday for sure. I'll drop that at the post office Monday. And she said he was at the hospital. She said there was some veterans down there, Vietnam veterans. They all had their hats on. She said going talking to some of the other people. And she saw them and asked if they could come in and talk to her husband a little bit. And, Jeff was there. And said that, and they're like, sure. And she said they came in and talked to him for a little while. And she said, brought his spirits way up. So she's like, this will definitely be good for him. So I was like, absolutely. I said, this is what we do. That's why I'm all about it. I got shit messed up here. Anyway, I didn't get to go through all the numbers. We didn't do as well as we did last time. We got to sell shirts and sweatshirts. That's where we make the good money. But like I said, it was close. I think last time I didn't sit down and go through the profit. But last time I think we brought in 605. This was 530, 528, something like that. But if I wouldn't have done it, and the trailer broke. The back door in the trailer broke. The hinge broke. I already called my buddy Todd. He was going out to eat tonight. So hopefully if I get done with my side job early enough tomorrow, I'm going to hook it up, drag it over to his house, and weld it back together. Because this was one I can't sleep on. Because here's the problem. If the other hinge breaks, we're in real trouble. Because the whole door will fall off, and the door probably weighs... Well, I don't know how much it weighs, but I know I can't pick it up myself and put it back where it belongs. So, we'll get that taken care of. I don't think it's a big deal. I think he's an ace welder, one of my best friends, and I think we'll get that taken care of quickly. This is called Bourbon Rose. I do not know why. Oh, there's Rosa. Maybe that's why. It's fortuitous. Natasha, you missed a bale or two last night. At least one, I think. Was that last night or right before? I don't even know what day it is today. Had to be last night. Might have been the night before. I don't know. Everything's out of the trailer, but it's all in the garage and bring it back in the basement. It's wild. It's wild to look at this room with all the totes in the garage. It almost looks like a man cave instead of a closet. Hello, Erica. talking about Erica today? Erica, you came up about something today. I don't remember what it was. All right, Bourbon Rose is bourbon. But see, Erica, this would have been... y'all should have been here tonight. This is Justin's thing. Bourbon drinks. Hello, Susan. All right, Bourbon Rose is bourbon triple second orange juice. So it's orange juice, orange liqueur, and bourbon. Doesn't smell good. Tastes like it tastes like possibly spoiled orange juice. Is the orange juice spoiled? Nope, orange juice is still good. Still in date, even by my standards. Okay. Bourbon Rose. This was the paper I was going to do last night, and I realized none of the drinks were red. This might be. I don't know what this is. This is Creme de Cassis. I found this a long time ago. I think it's... I don't know what it is, actually. I should try it. Let me try some of this. No one's here. It's just me. Oh, you want to think not rinsing cups after creamy drinks is one thing? Imagine letting them sit on the bar overnight, because that's what happened yesterday. I don't know what happened last. Apparently, did last night go late? I don't feel like last night was a late live. Oh, I was getting stuff ready to... Oh, that's pretty good. I was getting stuff... What is this? That's a strange... Here's one called the Kir Royale. I feel like I made that drink already. Champagne. Creme de Cassis. That's it. White wine can replace the champagne for a classic Kir. K-I-R. That's what the drink is called on the back of the bottle. This is good, whatever it is. They kind of look like blueberries, but I know they're not. They're pretty good. This is sweet. Hello, Diane. Diane's at the beach. Wait, you're at the beach, right? Still at the beach? Is that a day trip, or are you at the beach? I don't know. That's definitely some sugar on the edge there. So, my hopes, all my high hopes that I have because of the good taste of this. Hello, Jen. We were just talking about you today, too. There's Randy. Randy, I saw your wife today. Bought some honey. Former service member of the month. As much hope as I have for it because of the Creme de Cassis, it's got gin in it. So there it goes, right down the shitter. Oh, Jensen is here. I got home, unloaded the trailer. We had to go pick him up. His mom said, check him for a fever. He feels a little warm to me. So we brought him home and checked him for a fever, and sure enough, he's got a slight fever. But we gave him some Tylenol. Fever's gone. But the absolute, I don't know what the word is for it, but the absolute helpless feeling of a little boy that doesn't feel 100% does not go well with Papaw. Papaw does not deal with that well. It's rough on me. When he's whiny and he just doesn't feel good, I mean, the good news is, gave him a little Tylenol, gave him a little juicy juice, applesauce squeezy, and quit whining, and after a little Hudson and Holly, fell asleep. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't wake up 3.5 hours from now screaming because his fever came back. But he's a tough little guy, but it is hard. Papaw does not do well with little guys that don't feel good, or girls. I'm not a sexist. I don't like little kids. I said those videos always post with the soldiers coming home. The two that get me the most is moms and the little kids, when it's a mom or a dad And the little kids, their reactions, those two tear me to shreds. I can't. You could chop my arm off with a saw. I'm not gonna shed a tear when I see those things. I cry like a baby, and I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it at all. All right, this is called Tom Sweeney. I don't know who Tom Sweeney is, but it's called Tom Sweeney. It's gin creme de cassis. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty good. It's an interesting flavor. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's like I can't explain it. It's like it's almost it's kind of it's not really tarty. It's just but it's good. I guess, Susan. I don't know. Listen, I cry in movies. I'm an emotional wreck about that thing. But pain doesn't bother me. I'm telling you, I don't. You could chop my arm off with a chainsaw. I ain't crying. But emotional things tear me to shreds. Especially when it's family. No, Tylenol's not good for you at all. But he's a little guy, and we had Tylenol. We had children's Tylenol. Trust me, if we had children's. First of all, none of this stuff's good for you. But when you got a fever, listen, if I get a fever, I ain't taking nothing. I'm going to let the fever do what fevers do, because that's what fevers are for. But you can't take that chance with little kids, unfortunately. But he's a tough little guy. He'll be all right. That little face, though. All right, this is called Tom Sweeney. Gin, creme de cassis, and sweet and sour. Oh man, it smells like gin. For the love of fuck. Oh. Mima, really? Jensen's supposed to be sleeping. Hi, Jensen. Creme de cassis is good. Sweet and sour in moderation isn't horrible. That mess right there. Hello, Jen. That mess right there is. It tastes like if you wrung out a pine tree and then put an orange slice on the edge of the cup. This break sponsored you. This break brought to you by a palate cleanse, brought to you by our fine friends at Pretzel Crisps. I'll tell you one thing. I hope I get time for my job tomorrow and time to go visit Kerry Schonenberger at Schonenberger's Meat Market, because he had a picture of smoked cheese up. So I know he's got some Cooper for me over there. And I got about 3 sticks left. And if he has any of that cheesy ring bologna, I just bought 2 jars of Hair Lockers dipping mustard. Papa's going to be putting overtime down here. We got to get caught up on Service Member of the Month or Veteran of the Month packages. It's a good problem to have. That's all I'm saying. I think. I sincerely apologize for eating on a live, because I do realize when I watch the lives back and I'm eating on them, it's horrible for this. So I apologize. But that drink was disgusting. It wasn't disgusting, but gin just lingers. It's not even the worst. I think if I said the 5 worst things that are down here, gin's not in the top 5. That's how bad shit is around here. Also, I know people that like gin. Anyway, I didn't ask her, but it seems like the turnout for the basket raffle for Gwen was pretty decent. They said that I know a bunch of people stopped by the stand and told me they appreciated us donating baskets. And I mean, listen, every time I've never said no to anyone. Anyone that asks me. Yeah, it is. Like, yeah. Anyone that ever asks me, as long as it's like a decent cause, there is Gwen. Hello, Gwen. I just mentioned you. I said, I don't know how the basket raffle went, but multiple people stopped by the booth and said they saw the stuff we donated and said thank you. And trust me, if as long as it's for a good cause, people, if people ask me to donate baskets to fire companies, sporting teams, to local stuff, whatever it is, I'm all down with it. Well, I know it's just, Jen, I'm just saying when I rewatch it and I'm like eating and you hear crunching and it's I don't know. I shouldn't do it. But that drink it was gin, right? I had to do something. YOLO can only kill so much stuff. Really, really well. That's good, Gwen. And no problem. Like I said in the post, and like I would say to anyone that asked me, Gwen she's a member of our group. She does a lot for our group that people don't know about. She helps us out down there at the deal. And like I said, we didn't do great today, but listen, at the end of the day, if I can go down there and make $150, $200, whatever, for the group to put towards what we do all year, all I'm saying is if you did one event a month and you did that, you know what I mean? That's $2,400 a year. That's a quarter. That's a little less than a quarter of what we donated last year. So yeah, Kelly, and I bet you're smiling ear to ear. So yes, Gwen, I appreciate what you do for us a lot. If I have not expressed that to you properly, I apologize. But everybody knows how I feel. It's the same thing with I consider you just one of our sponsors. You know what I mean? The shirt, for what the shirt guy does for us, Michael that does all the glass work, everybody that does anything for the group understands what we do, and they do the best they can to help us out as best they can to fulfill our mission. And I am forever thankful for that. All right, Natasha, I got one more, and this one looks like it could be a Boris Bale, and I don't think there's a lot of sweet and sour in it, so it could be rough. Oh, it's pineapple juice. I gotta get pineapple juice. All right. Oh, shocking! The vodka's almost empty. Hello, Adam. And it's empty. Oh, there's another one. Oh, yeah. This one's open. Who opens the bottle and then puts it back in the rack? Alright. This one should definitely... It's got some healthy... Oh, I gotta go shopping. I got a job to do tomorrow. And then I repair. I gotta go measure a job. Oh, this is gonna be a lot of sweet and sour. I have one guess. Oh. I didn't get that at first, Natasha. So for everybody, Scotty Tennell told me Master of Mixes is the best mixers. So I always try to get Master of Mixes. I don't know. I do think it's better. But anyway, I like the thing with this, the dailies, it has a pour top. So every time I get it, I transfer it. So if you ever come here and it's not Master of Mixes, yo, Kid Rit, holy shit. Who dug Ritter out of the mothballs? Ritter, we were considering bringing back Cinco de Flyo. Ritter might have been the champion of the last one. Cinco de Flyo is a day where we shoot clay birds in the backyard. You can go live doing it, but you got to watch because you can't have alcohol. You can't have alcohol and gun. I think you could do... I think you could do a Facebook Live with shooting and you can do a Facebook Live with alcohol, obviously. But I don't think you can do a Facebook Live with shooting and alcohol. Believe it or not. How the fuck they would monitor that, I have no idea. They can't figure out other shit. Although, I will say the fine folks at YouTube already took down the first video off the YouTube channel for music. We had a YouTube channel for a week and are already getting zucked. We have like 5 subscribers, so it's blowing up. You know what I mean? Hang on, boys and girls. Pretty soon we'll be doing YouTube live videos. Maybe we'll get the... what we should do is get hooked up with Cletus. I don't know what his right name is. He's funny as shit. He does crazy shit with cars. If you've all never seen him. Cletus McFarland, I think, is his... There you go. There you go, Natasha. There's a big boy, for lack of a better term. I think it's Cletus McFarland. I think that's his Facebook. I don't remember his right name. I heard him on Dale Jr. Download. He's funny. He's a funny guy. He does crazy shit with cars. Like, I think they put a supercharged motor in a fucking box truck. Is this a cover? Yeah, it's covered. The old Joe Diffie. Joe Diffie was awesome. Alright, this is called Triple Sex Cocktail. Triple Sex Cocktail? Sex, like S-E-X, not sec. Garrett Smithley. That's right, it is Garrett. I do remember Garrett. That's my brother's name. He's fun. He's got some cool-ass shit that he does. Wild shit. Alright. Triple Sex Cocktail is triple sec, vodka, sweet and sour, and pineapple. There's a lot of sweet and sour in here. Too much sweet and sour, in my opinion. But I made it as per the recipe. One, because at least the first time I tried to make it exactly how the recipe is, so I can give it a proper assessment as to how I found it. And two, if I wouldn't have put so much triple sec in it, it wouldn't have been such a big bail for Natasha and Boris. Although Boris may or may not be working. But cheers, boys and girls. Mother Russia, coming at you. Ooh, that's sour. Wow. That's wild. The finish is strong pineapple flavor. John Deere Green was a great song by Joe Diffie. That was you still call them albums? What do you call them? Albums, I guess? That was a great album. What album was that on? John Deere Green was on there. What's the song about? Fuck. Bubba's in Love? No, what the hell was it called? Somebody's in Love. Bubba's in Love? Something like that it was called. Is that what a Russian flag looks like for real? I don't really know what a Russian flag looks like. What was she gonna say? Oh, what's this song with the... I can't remember what the name of that song is. Came up to the window with a She brought flowers. They smelled like WD-40. To the window with a busted nose or something with a shiner. What the hell was the name of that? We should just do Joe Diffie music. What was the name of that song? Wasn't Bubba Shot the Jukebox? See, I'm that's in my head with Bubba Shot the Jukebox, and that wasn't it. I can't remember the name of that song. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Kelly. Kelly knows everything. Well, she remembers everything. Maybe she doesn't know everything. Junior's in Love. Is that it? Aaron Steinmetz. What's up, buddy? Alexa, play Junior's in Love. Yes. That's it. That's the song. Junior's in Love, baby. That's a good tune. Aaron, I have a serious question for you, Aaron. Who the fuck's going to play quarterback for our team this year? What are we doing over here? Who who we drafting? Listen, I don't think that I don't think Russell Wilson was the reason why we lost six in a row to how many games in a row we lost to finish the season last year, including the playoffs. I don't think he's the reason. Well, there's a chance of that. I don't think he's the reason why we lost all those games. The offense was terrible. The defense was terrible. I think it was just he wasn't the reason why we went on the skids. I also don't think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Minka Fitzpatrick's. I feel like he's fallen off. Yeah, Russ was the scapegoat. I'm glad they didn't overpay anybody. I hope they don't bring in. I hope they don't pay. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers wants to come to Pittsburgh and play for like $10 million, okay, let him come. But Jesus Christ, don't overpay him. I, I, I think Mason Rudolph could actually do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. They keep saying it's because of the defense, the way they're playing, that Minka's blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know. Whenever he got here, he was a ball hawk. He was insane. He was like, well, this is sacrilegious, and I don't mean this in any way, but listen, there's one Troy Polamalu. That's all I'm saying. But Minka was a disruptor when they got him in the middle of the season. He was ridiculous. He was absolutely ridiculous when he came here, and that was it. He never did it. He never really did it after that. But he's also not in that role. I think if you had good corners and you could let him freelance, he could do that stuff. But they're just, I don't know. Something's just not jiving. What do you think the odds are we're going to have a bad season? That's the thing. There's no way, Aaron, we're going to have a bad season. We're going to have a bad season. We're going to be, how many games do we play? 17. We're going to be 9-8. That's going to be it. Hello, Jennifer. I don't know what, listen. I know everybody out there that's not a Steelers fan, y'all want Mike Tomlin. You think he's the best coach in the league. You could have him. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I'm not saying he's not one of the best coaches that ever coached football. Maybe his message is stale. I don't know. But something's not right. I do think that he shows favoritism. And he lets people get away with shit that he shouldn't. Exactly, Aaron. And he lets people get away with shit they shouldn't, which is why we always have the best receivers ever, and they turn into piles of dog shit. Although I will say this, I heard, Jesus Christ, I can't think of his name now. I heard Antonio Brown on Joe Rogan. Antonio Brown's a funny motherfucker. I'm here to tell you right now. I might start was he on X or Instagram or whatever? But he's funny as fuck, and he clearly knows that he got brain damage. He clearly knows that he's fucked up. He has a channel called CTESPN. I mean, he's hilarious. He's absolutely ridiculously funny. And listen, I love Mike Tomlin. I really do. I respect Mike Tomlin. I shouldn't say I love him. I respect Mike Tomlin. But also, when Mike Tomlin had Ben Roethlisberger, listen, I'm not saying he ever was Tom Brady, but Ben Roethlisberger for a time in his career was a top 5 quarterback. There's no argument to that. Top 5 NFL quarterback, absolutely no doubt about it. Le'Veon Bell was a top 1 or 2 running back for a period there, and Antonio Brown was the best receiver in football for a couple of years. So you had the best wide receiver in football, one of the best running backs in football, and one of the best quarterbacks in football. You should have scored 30 points a game by accident, and one of the best lines in football. You should have scored 30 points a game by accident, and you lost games over and over and over again. There's no. Mike Tomlin is a Super Bowl winning coach. He also won with Bill Cowher's team. That's my opinion. You can dispute it if you want to. But he won the Super Bowl with Cowher's team, and then he went back again against the Packers and lost. And he hasn't done dick since. He hasn't won a fucking playoff game in 752 years. Yeah, I think so. I think it's like Andy Reid. You know what I mean? You look at what Andy Reid's doing in Kansas City, and you're like, the Eagles fired Andy Reid? Are you crazy? What will you dispute, Jennifer? You don't. What are you disputing, Jennifer? All right, calm down over there, Natasha. You don't get to put up fucking your shit when you're over in Russia. You don't even. You guys think football, soccer. Oh my god! I just heard a siren on the radio, and I thought it was Jensen crying. That's what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach, 1,000%, and the Eagles fired him. So what's that? If he would have stayed in Philly, he wouldn't have the 6. Now also, he's got Patrick Mahomes. So I think stud quarterbacks can hide a lot of coaching flaws. So there's that. And that's the thing. Except for the Packers, who the hell gets to keep drafting franchise quarterbacks one after the other? Exactly. Tomlin's coaching tree has no branches, 0. No, he's never. I don't think he's a good teacher. Which is why when they traded the first round pick for Mink, I was like, all right, cool. They can't draft worth of shit. Secondary, although Joey Porter Jr. looks pretty solid so far. We'll see how that goes. He seems pretty good. I just think back to like Rod Woodson. When they had Rod Woodson, half the field was done. It was absolutely shut down. And that's when, if you can cut off half the field, your defense can play a lot better. You got to get more pressure on the quarterback with the front. That's why the Eagles are so good. The Eagles are so good because they get ridiculous pressure on the quarterback with 4 people. If you can get ridiculous pressure with 4 people, you got 7 people in coverage. Yeah, I don't. Listen, I mean, what's Duck Hodges doing? Oh, he's married to Lainey Wilson. Forget about that. That would be awesome if Lainey Wilson sang the national anthem at the Steelers games. That would be sweet. I think you bring Duck Hodges back. That's the only thing I think. All right, I never was a fan of Bubby Brister. I will say that. I mean, just think about all the seasons that we just. Why are we talking Steelers football? Think about all the seasons where we just muddled through there with no quarterback. Then we got Neil O'Donnell. We thought, oh, here we go. And then he throws 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl. What's his name? Larry Rogers or whatever the fuck his name back. What? Ben could probably play. Nah, maybe he couldn't. I don't know. He's pretty old now. Listen. I don't know if he could scramble and get out of tackles like he used to. That's the problem. You're fucking spoiled. You know what I mean? You had a Hall of Fame quarterback for, what did I say? Larry Brown. That's right, for sure. I don't know, Natasha. Just because that's who's here. That's who commented. I do like his podcast or whatever it is. I mean, I've never listened to it. I guess it's a podcast. I've seen clips of it, I should say, on Facebook. I haven't, or Instagram or X or whatever. I don't know. I guess it's not very depressing. It's hard. It's a good thing I don't care as much as I used to, because before if the Steelers would lose a game, it would ruin my week. Now it's just like, whatever. Apparently, Ken, in Russia, they root for the Packers. Ken, are you home already? Or are you not home? I don't know. No, that happened before I even... What is it? Alexa, next. I opened the door to load the trailer this morning, and I was lowering it down. It was like, boom, and it I thought last week... no one's going to know this, but when you open the door down, the door would drift off the floor. It wouldn't stay down on the ground. You'd have to I'd put something heavy on it to hold it down so when we were wheeling shit in and out. Oh, I got you, Ken. We were wheeling shit in and out. I'd weigh the door down because it would start to drift back up. Yeah, Aaron, it's maybe that's age. You know what? Maybe it's because your kid's in the military. Yeah, but I learned it. I didn't learn it after that. My attitude towards it changed when, not the Steelers, but my attitude towards it changed when they started kneeling for the national anthem. I got a real problem with that. And I don't mean to start any ruckus, I don't mean to start any shit. But I think if you kneel for the national anthem, they should send you back to whatever the fuck you think is better than here. That's my opinion. So. I don't know. I didn't even see any of that. Stupid slow connection. Yeah. Aaron's son is in the military. Everybody should know that. Well, everybody, I mean, you don't have to know that or not, but he is. So he's one of my favorite people. I don't even watch, hello, Cece. I don't even watch fucking TV. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking Ranger School. That's fucking badass. Jesus Christ. Where'd he get that? Aaron, did he get that? Where'd he get that blood? That must be from his mom. That bloodline didn't come from you. Come on. That is, listen. Hello, holy shit, Betty. Hello, Betty. Ranger School, Rangers are some badass fuckers. Yeah, listen, Navy SEALs. All right. If anybody wants to do research into some badass people, oh me, Aaron's clearly been drinking. If you've never heard of David Goggins, get out your little Google machine. Not now. Take a note down. Do this later. Get out your little Google machine and Google David Goggins. That's all you need to know. He'll make it. He'll make it. First of all, he may not have the athleticism, but he's a Steinmetz, so he's stubborn as fuck. And that's all you really need to get through it. First of all, most of these things, Aaron, are, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really know them that well, but most of these things it has nothing to do with physical ability. It's mental. The people who fail out of all of these special forces regiments or schools or whatever, it's all mental. 1,000%. What's up, Chris? Like, that's just what it takes. Because they said, like, the SEAL guys, like, the guys that fail out of Navy SEAL schools are, like, the high school wrestling studs or the football studs or whatever. It's never... I'm trying to think who it was that was on Rogan, and he was... what the fuck's his name? There's two guys that are on there. They were on together. One of them but he calls it a squirrel suit. It's like a flying suit. It's basically like like, you know what a flying squirrel is? So, like, if you put your arms out, it would be like webbed to your feet. And they dropped him out of like a hot air balloon at like 40,000 feet or something, and he soared back to the ground. They said the speeds that he reached it was ridiculous. It was the highest jump out. It was the highest jump ever. I can't remember what his name is though. They're great. Yeah. Oh, Goggins is the fucking bomb, dude. If you want to be motivated, Google David Goggins and do what Goggins does. But good luck finding him, because right now he's in fucking Canada jumping out of airplanes fighting forest fires for fun. And I'm not joking. He one time, I can't remember if it was 8. I don't want to miss. It was at least 8. It was either 8 or 10. Just pay attention to what I'm about to say here, because this is fucking ridiculous. It was either 8 or 10 weekends in a row. 8 or 10. I'm not sure if it was 8 or 10, but it was one or the other, and I don't give a shit which one it is. He ran 8 or 10 100-mile races 8 weeks in a row. You never heard of Goggins? Dude, Aaron. Just go. if I don't know if you do podcasts or not, probably one of the if you go on Rogan's podcast and look up David Goggins, go back to the first one. He's been on there 2 or 3 times, but go back to the first one when Rogan met him for the first time. Rogan only heard of him but never met him or anything, and he invited him to be on the podcast because he heard the stories about him. So he invited him in to be on the show, and he said when he got to the studio, he said Goggins was already there, and he was out in the gym doing pull-ups. He set the world record for pull-ups. I think it's been broken since, but he did in 24 hours, it's like 4,900 something pull-ups. But he's an ultra marathon runner. He started out at 300 pounds. His story is phenomenal. His nickname is the baddest man alive, and when you hear his stories and you hear the things he's just very modest about it. He doesn't, you know what I mean? But he's funny. He's very funny. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's a bad motherfucker. And now when you see him, he looks like a superhero. He's slim. He's not bulky. He's ripped, but he's shredded. He's absolutely shredded, and his story is phenomenal. From everything from him getting beat by his dad when he was a little kid, or maybe it was his stepdad. His story is absolutely phenomenal. He is, if you're looking for somebody to motivate you, that's your guy. If you, the best thing you can watch is what the hell's the guy's name? Cam. He's an archery guy. Cam Hanes. Cam Hanes is like a world-renowned archery hunter. He runs. Cam Hanes used to run a marathon every day. He'd wake up in the morning. He'd run 8 miles. He'd go to work. At lunchtime, he'd run 8 miles. And then when he went home from work, he'd run 8 or 10 or whatever it was. So it added up to a marathon. Literally every single day he did that. And he did it to get in shape for elk hunting in the mountains. That's why he did it. Because he was a huge archery hunter. And they would just pack in, go 10 miles deep. So he said him and Goggins were running somewhere in this 35 or 40 mile race. This was on a clip on Rogan. If you've ever seen the clips of the Navy SEALs things where they're carrying the boats and the logs and all that shit, that's the thing. But he's in the gym. He's in the gym and he's working out with Cam and he's doing incline bench press or whatever. They're doing like 225 and he's benching so many presses and he's like, come on, 2 more, come on. And Goggins starts screaming, who's going to carry the boats? Who's going to carry the logs? And he said it's like a gym. It's like a full gym of people. And he's just screaming out of his head. But hey, relax, Natasha. But anyway, you got to watch the clip of him and Cam. They're doing this 35-mile race or whatever. And he said, Goggins is out there, whatever. And he goes, I came by him and he had his shoes off. And they're like 20-some miles in. And he said... And he goes, that's bad. He goes, when you take your shoes off, like your feet start to swell. He goes, he had a problem. He had some sort of problem. He said, I came by him and had his shoes off. And he's like, he's done or whatever. He's like, something happened. Something must happen with his feet or whatever. His feet are fucked up. You ever see picture of feet? It's absolutely disgusting. It's gross. I'm not gonna, don't Google his feet. You don't want to see his picture of his feet because it's disgusting. But anyway, he shows this and he said, next thing, he's a couple miles later, he goes, boom, Goggins goes past me. He's like, son of a bitch, there he goes. And he said, there was like a long climb. And so there was this one part of the he said it was like a mile climb, just straight up for how long. And he said, when he got to the top, he said, Cam said he had like a camera guy or something set up on top of the hill there. And he said, hey, did you see Goggins? And he said, what did Goggins look like when he came by here? And he goes, he was screaming. He goes, he kept screaming, you don't know me, son. You don't know me, son. And the camera guy and Cam said to him, who was he talking to? And he goes, there was no one else here. And Rogan started. If you've ever heard Joe Rogan's laugh, it's one of the best laughs ever. But it's a clip. I've seen that clip on Facebook. You can probably search for it on Facebook clips. Cam Hanes. Just search Cam Hanes. David Goggins, Joe Rogan, and maybe it'll come up. But it's a short clip, but he's talking about the race, and he talks about when he takes his shoes off, and the whole thing is, you don't know me, son, you don't know. And he's like, who was he talking to? And he's like, there was no one else around. But it's just the way Cam said it, and then Rogan just starts laughing out loud. He's a maniac. The last time he was on Rogan's show was probably 2 years ago, and he just disappears because he's not into social media. But he comes out, like he put a book out, and he did Rogan's show, and he did, Who's that British guy that does Modern Wisdom? What the fuck is his name? It's another podcast. I can't think of his name, but he did Rogan's podcast and Chris is it Chris something? Chris Williamson maybe? Christopher Williamson, something like that. He's a British dude. He lives in Austin, Texas now, but he's from England. But anyway, he did those two podcasts. That's it. He didn't do any more podcasts. But he's in the last he was there was like 2 years ago, and he was in Canada as they call them storm jumpers or something. They literally when there's like an out of control forest fire, we're like in the middle of Canada, nowhere, fucking like remember when all the smoke was blowing down into the United States and you couldn't see because of the Canadian wildfires? He was there jumping out of airplanes. They fucking parachute out of airplanes with shit on their back, and then they actually parachute equipment in also, and they collect it up and they literally fight fires. He's a multi-millionaire, and he does this crazy shit because in his head it's who he said that David Goggins character is somebody who he created to make himself better because he didn't think it was a good enough person. He's phenomenal. If you need to get motivated, Google Goggins. For a while there, but I couldn't find him after a while. I was posting on Team Swimman. I was posting daily Gogginisms. He's fucking nuts. He's absolutely insane. He's one of my favorite people in the world. I love him. If I could meet David Goggins, if I could sit down, you always had this thing, if you could have dinner with 3 people or 4 people, who would it be? At this point of my life, it would be, well, first Elon. I think Elon thinks in a level that most of us can't even understand. And everybody thinks he's crazy. Not everybody. A lot of people think he's crazy and he's bullshitting and he's doing it. Elon's brain is at a level that we don't fucking understand. He's the Einstein, the Nicholas Tesla of our time. And he will not be appreciated until 200 years from now. How smart he is. He's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous. Well, I'm going golf with Aaron. Aaron, I'm taking Aaron. What are we talking about here? Golfing. If I'm golfing with. Oh my God, I don't even know if I could. Is this the same type of question? I would love to meet Joe Rogan. I like the way his mind works. I don't agree with a lot of the things him and I are. He's actually coming around. He's coming around. When I first listened to Rogan, he did not agree with me on a lot of topics. He's starting to come around, but I like the way he interviews everybody straight up. He offered to have listen. He had Trump on before the election. I think that's part of the reason why Trump won. He offered to have Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, I'd love to talk to her too. Damn, we'd have to have it would be more like the Last Supper. We needed 12. We can't do 3. Golf with 3 other people. If it's just golf, if we're golf, first of all, I gotta have Aaron there because Aaron brought up the question, and it would be fun. We gotta have John Daly there. I think if we have John Daly there, we don't really need anyone else there. I'm taking Aaron. All right, Aaron. I'm going to give you one here, and you can do with this information whatever you want. I'm going to take Aaron, because Aaron brought up the question. I'm going to bring John Daly, because fucking John Daly, come on. And, Aaron, I'm going to take your dad. Because I never got to golf with your dad. I never played golf one time with your dad. And, but I think that would be an experience. Somehow our lives are intertwined. Aaron and I, we are like 27th cousins or something. We're somehow. He's a Steinmetz. My grandmother, my dad's mom was a Steinmetz. So we're some level of cousinism from each other. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna pick Aaron because Aaron posed the question. I'm taking John Daly because if you're going golf and you don't take John Daly, you're just not paying attention. And And for the sake of the fact that I never golfed with his dad, and I think he'd like to fucking spin one more time around with him, I'm gonna take your dad, buddy. I'm all in with that. I'll let you even ride the car with him. I'll ride with Daly. We're gonna be drinking fucking John Daly's all day, so we might be giggling by the end of it. But Mimo and I had this discussion today. I'm completely okay with associating with people who don't agree with me necessarily. We're not Aaron. We're not playing to win. We're just playing to have fun. I would pick a totally different foursome if we were trying to win. What if we played 6-9? What if we played 6-9 putter? That's what I'm saying. 6-9 putter. First of all, Daly could probably drive half the fucking greens at Shamrock with a 6. So we got something going there. I just want the pants. We all have to dress like Daly, though. Natasha, I miss you so much when you're not here. Oh my God. Aaron, I haven't played golf in... I'm going to say in the last 10 years I played... Let me think. So I've basically been Mimo over 10 years. So I'm going to say in 10 years I played... I'm going to say in 10 years I played 6 rounds of golf. But for whatever it's worth, the last time I played, I shot a 92, which I don't think is too bad. I don't think a 92 is too bad if you only play one round every 2 years. 15 times, dude, you're like a professional. I think the only chance I have to ever get back into golf again is if I teach Jensen how to play golf. I should probably start now. He's 3. I don't know if he's... I don't know if he would care to play golf. I want to get him into hunting is what I want to do. Because it ain't going to be too long and I'm not going to be able to drag shit out of the woods. And he's a go-getter. He's a little fucking fireball. And his brother. We're going to get Jace out there too. We're going to get Jace out there and Jensen killing deer. Listen, I'll sit in the blind and let those motherfuckers shoot. I don't care. Aaron, yes, for sure, buddy. There's, I remember, I'll never forget, when mom started dating my stepdad and like, oh gosh, I don't know, I was probably, I don't remember. I was probably, I was maybe 14. 15, I don't remember. I was probably 14 or 15, something like that, maybe. And I don't know for sure. And I never really asked the question, but my guess would be that my stepdad liked playing golf. Yeah, Uncle Billy was up here a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we had dinner with him. Yeah. He looks like Ron White, doesn't he? With his fucking crazy hair. I called him Ron White. He didn't know what I was talking about. What the fuck was I just talking about? I'm off track. I lost it, Kelly. Kelly, put me back on track. I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. I can definitely get Jensen into hunting. I don't know about Jace. I want to get Jace into hunting. Like I said, I'll sit in the blind. I'll let those fuckers shoot. I don't give a shit. I started archery hunting this year after about 13 years off of archery hunting. I got back into it this year, and I forgot how much fun archery hunting is. I forgot what it's like to have a deer walk 3 feet underneath you. That was crazy. I have had too many orange crushes. Golfing or tonight? Yo, we still need to get you out here. We still need to have Aaron Steinmetz on a drink of the day. We were at the Slatington Farmers Market today. It was a good deal, and like I said, it wasn't. I don't even know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to think. I don't know what. I know we brought in a couple $100. Like I said, if I can go down there, set up for a day, and do and make a couple $100 for the group, it goes a long way. It really does. Y'all don't understand what it means. Every penny, I call it. I make a joke about it, but we sell Wild Creek Beef Farm Honey. We sell General's Hot Sauce. We got Bad Bones Barbecue Dust. We got all our T-shirts, sweatshirts, all the merchandise. We have everything we sell. We sell all the stuff, and every penny that we make, we give away. Every single penny, and then some, because I add to it, because I don't want to be outdone by last year. I don't know how long we can keep doing that, but that's the plan. That's what we keep doing. But last year we were over $12,000 raised and donated, giving all away. Oh, there we go. There's Megan. Megan showed up today. Megan bought a jar of honey. It was good to see him. Megan had this shirt on right here. And it's Megan. That's the simple fact that I saw Megan come walking through that event center today, and she was wearing the Team Spoonman shirt. It meant something to me. It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to keep me motivated to keep doing what we're doing. But there is times when it's very, if you think about this, think about every day. First of all, every single human being, I don't think there's an exception to this, but my guess is that everybody wants more, right? So whatever you made this year, you want to make more next year. Everybody wants a little more than they already have. So by doing this right here, it's like, well, you work a little harder and you're like, okay, well, we got this. At no point does it ever come back to me. We just keep giving it away. So it's not like, oh, if I put a little more in, we'll get a little more back. My life will be a little easier. No, the little bit more we put in, my life gets a little harder because we got more to do to try to keep up. But then, and I said this early on in the live, we had a woman come through today, and a lot of people come by, and some people come by, and you see them look, and I'm trying to come up with signs, posters, something that I can hang, or a banner, or whatever, so that when people see it, it catches their eye, and they come in and ask what we do. That's the key. Ask what we do. I'll explain what we do. And once we get to that point, once we get somebody in there and when we get involved in them, wow, that's awesome. And then they want to help. But soon you'll walk by, you see them reading, and then they just kind of drift away. But we had a woman come in, and we started talking a little bit, and she said her husband was a Vietnam veteran. She said he's in the hospital. His heart is basically failing, and he's waiting for a heart transplant. They said he just got approved, put on the list. She said April 7th, as of April 7th. And her eyes started to water up, and she said April 7th is his birthday. And I said, wait, he's a Vietnam veteran? She said, yes. And I said, hey, here's one of the things we do with what we do. We raise money. We send out care packages to veterans and active duty service members. And I said, how about you give me his information, and we'll put him on the list for Veteran of the Month. So then she tells me the whole thing, that he's waiting for a heart transplant. His birthday, he got approved for April 7th, and his birthday's April 7th. And I said to her, ma'am, I said, get me the information. I said, I'm going to go home. I said, I got a job. I said, I'll get home tonight. I got a job due tomorrow. I said, when I get home from the job, I'm going to get his package together. It's going to be in the mail Monday. He's going to have it before his birthday. We're going to send it to him. And she told me a story that there was some Vietnam veterans at the hospital. They were visiting some patients, and she asked them if they would come in and talk to her husband, and she said they sat in the room with him for a half hour, whatever, just talking stories of Vietnam, whatever. And she said, she goes, man, it was so uplifting to him. He was in such a better mood. And I told her what we do, and she said, man, that would really make his day. And like just that slight interaction of real conversation with somebody going through something that most of us, I won't say we won't ever understand, but we sure as fuck don't understand now. It really just gave me a great feeling as to what we do every single day. And that's why we do it. For that one, it's not one, but it's everybody, you know what I mean? But it was just a great feeling, that it just was one of those inspirational little things and that's enough. That's something like that happens. That's enough to keep me motivated for months. And that's all it takes. Cause like I said, there is times when you just get down. I'm telling you, there's times that things just, like I said, when I open that trailer door and it cracked. Like, I'm like, what is that noise, you know? And then I realized what happened. When I went to close it, it popped again. I saw this weld was broken. And I'm like, God damn, like, you know, you kind of have a brief sort of sensation or feeling like, you know, the sky is falling, you know, and then I wait a couple hours because, you know, it's Saturday morning. I don't know what time everybody gets up. I wait until like 10:15, 10:30, whatever. And, me, you, Elon, and 47. You let me know, Aaron. Aaron, anytime you want to come, you let me know. Love you, brother. Tell Nate I said hi. Stay strong, brother. And never apologize for being patriotic. Fuck them. Hello, Sherry. Goodbye, Sherry. I don't know. Your picture disappeared. I'm not saying you left or not, but... All right, bud. See you. Yeah, Aaron is... How would this work? So Aaron's... Let me think about this. Aaron's dad... How the fuck is this? Aaron's dad and my... I'm not really sure. I think Aaron's dad and my... Was your dad cousins with my dad? I think Aaron's dad and my dad were cousins. Or was your dad cousins with my grandmother? I feel like Aaron's dad was cousins with my dad. Which I guess would make Aaron... Then we'd be second cousins. We're either second cousins or we're second cousins once removed. I'm not sure about the math. But I'm not sure who was related. I'm not sure who was the top... Who was the cousins at the top of the family tree. But somehow we're... Anyway, his son Nate's in the military. So that's awesome. That's what I said. Like all these people that are in the military, like I know people that have their kids in the military. I'm like, hey, let me know. Like, listen, we don't want to name them the veteran. We don't want to name them the service member of the month when they're in basic training. You don't want to take somebody who's in basic training and send them a package and tell them they're a service member of the month because it's not good for them. Let's just say that. Because it's not a school maybe. Once you're in permanent party, that's when we want to take care of you. That's funny, Kelly. This is a good song, too. Wait for ships that don't come in. That's a great song. I remember when this song came out. I remember driving around. This song was out, I think, when I had my black Jeep. I loved Joe Diffie back in the day, man. His wife said he didn't die of COVID. Although, I don't know. There's a lot of shit on my fucking phone. The problem with having 62 phones is all the messages that pile up. Probably shouldn't be taking care of this while I'm live, but, you know, whatever. All right. That's all I got. I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow, so. And I gotta take a shower, and I gotta check on the tiny terrace and see how he's doing. Hopefully he's fucking peacefully sleeping. Because he was not in a good place. He wasn't bad. He had like 103. Like, that's not horrible. Natasha wants to show up here once a week, and then she wants to be a pusher. Where's Debbie when I need her? All right, hold on. No, I'm not making that. There's a drink that's fucking huge. This drink, I feel like it's a typo. It calls for 10 counts of margarita mix. I can't. That's too much. Hold on, the top. Wait, what month is this? Let's all right here. No, that's not gonna be a bail though. All right, listen, I'm all right, Natasha. Natasha, did you get your plane ticket for June yet? All right, I'm gonna make the boozy leprechaun because March is almost over, and let's make a leprechaun drink. Kelly, you pretend like you don't enjoy it. So stop it. Just stop it. When I'm sitting on the couch and Jensen falls asleep on me, it's oh Doris. Hello, Doris. If we're out in the living room and Jensen falls asleep on top of me, it's one of the greatest feelings that ever was. It's just the simple like maybe it's just trust. The simple fact of somebody being able to fall asleep is just. I just dumped vodka on the bar. Meemaw's gonna be down here licking the bar top off. Man, we're out of a lot of shit. I gotta go shopping again tomorrow. See, here's the thing. My job's in Easton tomorrow. It's right, like, this far away from New Jersey. I could just hop the border. The problem is I got 3 other jobs after it. Actually, I don't know if everybody messaged me back. Natasha, I hope you're proud of yourself. If I have a headache tomorrow, it's your fucking fault. Alright, I think he likes me. He loves Meemaw. I think I'm like second or third fiddle. He likes me a lot when Meemaw's at work. If Meemaw's at work, I'm the fucking bomb. I can't do any wrong. But if Meemaw's here, as soon as I don't want to say yell at him, but as soon as I discipline him in any way, shape, or form, he gone. He's out. He's not playing fucking Papaw's games. Fuck that. He's like, fuck you, Papaw. I'm going to Meemaw because I can get away with everything I want to do. Oh, they can't fall asleep on you if they love you, really? Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I can't. I mean, yeah. I remember one time he was sleeping on me. I was watching something. And I was on the couch, and she came home, and she's like, you want me to take him? And I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here. You're not taking him. Wait till he wakes up on his own natural causes, or whatever. Natasha, what the fuck did I do with the pineapple juice? Oh, a little prop me up against a jukebox. This would be a phenomenal. That little fucker's lucky he's sick and sleeping, or this would be cranked the fuck up. If Meemaw was at work right now, I'll get this whole thing shut down on fucking YouTube. I don't even care. Probably up against a jukebox. Come on. That's like a Natasha. This is gonna be like a baby Boris bail. The old triple B for you. It is the last. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the last of. I actually was just going through my phone yesterday, and I found Christmas drinks, Valentine's Day drinks. I don't know if they're going to make it till next year or not. I guess it's bigger than I thought. Oh, that's pretty big. That's decent. That's solid. That's a solid bale. It's like a. What's after? It's. What's the first stage? Baby? Is baby first, then toddler, then adolescent? It's an adolescent bale. It's an adolescent Boris bale. That's not a full. That's pretty full. That's pretty. All right, thank you, Natasha. I'll take credit for that. Natasha's a solid bale. This is called the Boozy Leprechaun. This was apparently left over from St. Patrick's Day. Whatever month we're in now. No, it's still March. We're still in It's still St. Patrick's Day. Actually, I just saw a post yesterday. No, today. Today, someone just had a St. Patrick's Day parade today. So, it's still St. Patrick's Day. Boozy Leprechaun is vodka, blue carousel, peach schnapps, orange juice, and pineapple. Cheers. Wait, you can see the flag? Team Spoonman, never apologize for being patriotic. Fuck them. Somebody did axe. Holy shit, Matthew Stottlemyre commented on something. Where the fuck have you been? Somebody did ask me today. Robin was in the booth next to us today. And she said, how the fuck do you drink all those drinks all the time and not like... She goes, are you okay? Like, how do you do that? And I said, I'm a professional. That was my exact response. Kelly laughed at it. I'm not necessarily proud of myself, but it is what it is. I started doing bales from day one 5 years ago, and here we are. Anyway, I need to... 9:38. I'm going to have to go up and down the steps a bunch of times. I was trying to get 10,000 steps in today, and I didn't get there. All right. Anyway, good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Love y'all, mean it. Never apologize for being patriotic. Listen, there's some that, like right now, I drank too much. What was the day when I ate too much? Was that yesterday or the day before? I felt like shit. I definitely ate too much that day. I ate late tonight. I was down there all day today. I ate a chicken wing. So it was some... Hello, Tracy. There was a guy down there who makes his own wing sauce. He had a free sample thing. I ate a wing. And I got home. It was... till I got home... unloaded, then we had to go pick up Jens. When we got back home, it was 7 o'clock, and I'm like, I have to eat. I said, I can't go do a drink a day without eating anything. Holy shit. So I actually ate, which is bad, but I'm fine. Sometimes I'm a little tipsy, but it is what it is. It's all part of the job. As long as I don't go to the doctor, I'll be okay. As soon as I go to the doctor, this thing's shut down. Because as soon as I go to the doctor and they do blood work, it's over. So, drink of the day will end as soon as Meemaw talks me into going to the doctor. That's my guess. So far, I'm standing strong. I emptied 2 bottles tonight. I threw them both in the garbage can. One of them was on the couch and one of them was on the floor. So, over 2 tonight. I'm not very good at this game. Also, that box is pretty far away when I park it, so. Alright. That's all I got. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Love y'all, mean it. And never apologize for being patriotic. Peace.